What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Flex podcast from the Action Network and Fantasy Labs. I'm your host, Chris Raybon. It's NFL Week 14. We're talking DFS on this episode. We will build cash game lineups for Draftkings and Fanduel. I'll be joined by one of the most accurate fantasy rankers and projectors in the game, the oddsmaker Sean Koerner, momentarily, and we'll start building those lineups. But quick reminder, all of our fantasy football and DFS content is available right now over on FantasyLabs.com. Fantasy Labs NFL includes in-season rankings, waiver wire tips, and, of course, our DFS tools and models as well. DFS-specific tools that you can reference each and every week while making your lineup. So be sure to use code FLEX20, that's FLEX20, for $20 off a FantasyLabs.com NFL subscription at FantasyLabs.com/flex. All right, Koerner, what's going on? Again, happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving, and how you feeling heading into this week DFS-wise?
Yeah, good. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you got to play that fun Thanksgiving slate. I tried to go with the Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks double stack, but I had like $3,000 left over, so I was like, shit, I got to spend up somewhere. But I regret, moving off Wicks on that, but hopefully – I know we took last week off, but hopefully you all had a fun Thanksgiving slate and main slate. So happy to get back out of here with week 14.
Yeah, and this is a packed main slate, so completely different. Because those Thanksgiving slates, I think you can kind of get. You can just do almost anything in a GBP, like salary wise, because it's such a there's so much. There's a lot of casual people playing, and it's just a whole different kind of slate. But this one. We got I think the largest slate we've had in the early window outside of, even with Thanksgiving, we probably don't have as many games because they're on Thanksgiving themselves. So The Sunday slate was low. So yeah, this is a big Sunday slate. Let's start it off on DraftKings. Where are you going first?
Yeah, let's look at quarterback. There's some like really cheap options like Mariota and Tyrod Taylor that pop in my model, but I don't think they're the type of guys you necessarily want to play in cash games this week. You have like Jacoby Brissett and Jordan Love, maybe Bo Nix, I think would be the three I'm showing most value on. So I could really go either way on those. But what are your thoughts on Jordan Love against the Bears?
You said Brissett and two other guys who I wouldn't start. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Jordan Love. I mean, it's like. This is division matchup. Love, hard to predict. I mean, said, I'm high on him last week. I mean, just a buy low kind of spot in a game they could have passed more. But now you could have a situation where the Bears defense kind of surprises. They've been getting healthier. And then with Bo Nix, he put up exactly one touchdown. His offense, he led the offense to one touchdown the last time they played this team. Yeah. So he's just really hard to trust against like zone heavy teams. Kind of like a Jalen Hurts. So that just kind of leaves me, of the three you mentioned, with Brissett pretty clearly, because you saw at home Bryce Young, have success against the Rams defense. That Rams defense has been a little vulnerable at times, which you could kind of expect. So yeah, I think Brissett has to be the choice of those three guys. And yeah, I mean. With Lamar playing as bad as he has, he looks like a discount, but don't really love him. And then Burrow, seems like he gets hurt every third game, so it gets dicey really fast. Mayfield, they could go super run heavy. Just all these quarterbacks in that top tier really have blemishes. So Brissett's been getting the volume and enough efficiency. It sounds like Marvin Harrison's probably going to miss again, though.
Yeah, he's been fine without him.
Yeah, exactly.
He still has Trey McBride. Better, yeah, he still has Trey McBride and Michael Wilson. So yeah, I think that's the way to go because Josh Allen's clearly the number one QB against the Bengals, but he's $2,000 more expensive. And at quarterback, it's always a wide range of outcomes. And I think Brissett's established himself as a very high floor option and a high ceiling. So. Even with the tougher matchup, they should have to throw a ton. Let's go with Brissett at 5,700.
Yeah, you could make the case just given the matchup, Cincinnati. Like you could, I think a lot of people will end up going with Allen, but yeah, value wise, I think Brissett's the right. I think it's probably should be one of those two guys. Honestly,
yeah.
see much in between to make the case for not either going to the top or to the value in Brissett. All right, let's see what we can do on defense. Want to get that out of the way early. The lowest defense I would play would be the Titans, I think, at 20. Yeah, actually 2,900. They're not as cheap as I thought they were going to be when the week opened. But yeah, the Titans at 2,900 against the Browns, but
they stick out.
Yeah.
Like Vikings against Commanders, but
Commanders against Vikings. yeah, that's one of those kind of matches. Titans are kind of like that too, though. Yeah, Titans are kind of like that too, but they're. I mean, I guess the Commanders are. Yeah, I think the Titans are much better value than the Commanders, but they have some of that same kind of feel of like they're still a team that could just lose horribly.
Yeah, but they're cheap. The Titans are cheap. Too cheap this week.
Jets at home against the Dolphins. Yeah,
I think 2,500.
Yeah, but that's a little dicey too. I mean,
well, I think the Browns at 3,700.
So you think they're worth that eight? Yeah, right at home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I do have them ranked higher, but literally it's just like 1 point. And when it comes to defense, that doesn't really mean much. I just think of them in tiers anyway. And yeah, I think Titans are probably the best value on the board, just based on 2,900.
Yeah, like I think actually I don't know, but oh my God, McCarthy. Are we gonna get a full McCarthy game, or are we gonna get like McCarthy, Brosmer? Probably doesn't even matter at this point.
It probably doesn't matter. We could lock in one of these like 29. I'm fine with either the Titans or Commanders.
Let's go Commanders. Because the Vikings quarterbacks have proven awful, whereas Shador has actually not been quite as bad as expected. Right. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been terrible. And McCarthy and Brosmer have. So I think we should.
Yeah, and Washington. I think if we're just sitting there struggling to spend $600, I think that would be when you would level up to the Browns against the Titans, because I think they are the clear top defense here. But it's rather save money on defense early on if we can. So totally fine with it. Now,
all right,
wide receiver.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, A.D. Mitchell's 4,600. Obviously, he's never been considered a cash game guy, but he's never been, the top. He's never been the alpha on a team. So do you think he has a high enough floor to be a cash game play at 4,600?
On this slate, I lean no. I mean, I think it's not the worst thing, but there's a lot of options that are kind of in his same, because like, for example, Mechie ran more routes than him and is like, right there in price. Now I think he's a better value than Mechie, but it's just like, there's a lot of ways this variance could go. And you have a guy like Shimray DK, who you would have probably said that about a few weeks ago, and then he's kind of disappeared again too. So I would probably lean no, just because we saved that quarterback and punted defense. I'd probably start with like a higher receiver, and if we need to go there, I'd go backwards. But I mean, it's your call. I know you love him, and he did come through finally, and you know what I mean. So
I think we want
to ride the wave.
Well, we're riding the wave. We're all the way to Miami, they're in New Jersey, but let's go with them. I think. He is never like safe, but I think just given the recent usage, I think he has a higher floor than people realize. So, and obviously he has a high ceiling, so he could just erupt and nothing else matters. But yeah, just know that if you're taking him, it's a bit risky, maybe too risky for cash, but I'm going to do it anyway.
All right. I mean, he's technically a number one receiver, even though he was like a route behind, because of the air yards and just the actual production. So it's not like taking a guy like that in that range. Usually, it tends to work out because he's priced up to a point where it's like, okay, he had to do something to get to that point in price. He's not like a 30, 3K, 3,100 kind of guy. Like
he definitely
actually has
be.
earned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have Mitchell, we have Brissett, and we have the Commanders defense, which is hilarious. So we don't. That means we don't need to go with Michael Wilson, but should we? I mean, he's 5,600. Is he just going back to like 15 catches for 100 yards, or are we just getting like a normal median game, like 5 for 66 or something? Because if he's going to do that thing again, I think he's a must play too, right? 5,600.
Yeah, I think he's a must play. Yeah. I'm projecting Marvin Harrison to play, and I'm still showing some slight value on him at 5,600. We have Brissett, so we're getting a stack in a cash lineup, which I wouldn't mind that stack. I think McBride's probably too expensive if we wanted to add him. But I like Wilson at 5,600.
Yeah, because there's almost no way Brissett. Well, yeah, I guess there could be too much overexposure there because McBride is going to do what he does week in and week out. But if let's say Wilson gets 30 yards, can Zay Weaver make up that difference, or even Greg Dortch? Not necessarily. So, but from a value standpoint, it's so good. I think the thing is we don't need to go that cheap at receiver either. So let me see if I can. Who would I bump him to? Not Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase is at 8,200.
Yeah.
He's like that's 500 cheaper than the JSN, and then you have Devontae Adams, who profiles as a FanDuel type of play because of the touchdowns. He's 7,700. So I think Chase is kind of in a sweet spot. Let's go with him and see what happens. We can always bump back down or just use Wilson as the wide receiver 3 technical wide receiver 3 if we want to. But let's start with Chase in that spot.
Yeah, I like it. I'm showing some slight value on him, which is rare for those like really high price guys.
8,200, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at running back. Not much sticking out. Breece Hall is sticking out, but we already have A.D. Mitchell. I think Breece Hall would be good on FanDuel from what I'm seeing. But I'm showing R.J. Harvey, Kenneth Walker the third, and like Aaron Jones, Devin Neal. That range is sticking out. So that like 5,500 range at running back.
Judges?
Obviously,
Judkins? Yeah. Judkins at 64?
Yeah, I mean, DK, he takes a bit of a hit because it's full PPR, but they're kind of factoring on the price. He's kind of down there for me, but I mean, I already said this is just going to be a massive game for him. And if like Sampson misses, they've been getting Judkins more involved in the past game anyway. He could end up catching a few balls here. So I think, Judkins at 6,400. I think we can afford that, right? We're going to have... 5,600 remaining per play. Yeah, let's do that. We can't really spend up to get like Achane right now. He's popping at 8,800, but I don't think we need to do that. I'd rather go Chase and then take some of these like value guys at running back.
Yeah, I mean, we could just take Josh Jacobs probably though, right? I mean, he's also kind of more of a FanDuel play, but the matchup against the Bears and his price is at because. Yeah, I'd show a lot of. Oh, I guess Breece is probably even. Let's see, because I think Breece is at FanDuel. I mean, the DraftKings scoring is probably going to put it into Breece. Well, you can't do. So I would normally do Breece. I think over Judkins even if we didn't have 80 Mitchell, right. I would say.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down to like that, like the Chris Rodriguez tier or anything like that at 4,700. Even though they're it's. The Bears running backs are in the 50s. There's a lot of value, so I think in these situations, I try to avoid having to just pick. And it's going to come down to which of those guys hits and which doesn't. I try to do a different construction. So I would probably, I think for the other running back spot, we either, if you're saying we can't get up to Achane, that means we probably can't get up to Bijan, right? So I think Jacobs makes the most sense, but. Let me see what we can do at tight end real quick before I lock that in. Bowers is 6K and McBride is he's 8K. So is that the biggest discrepancy they've ever had? I feel like that's pretty.
Yeah, they're making it really tough. That's what I was alluding to. They're making it tough to get McBride this week.
So that's who we should be playing. But in tournaments, absolutely. Yeah, because I like Strange, but he's priced up he's up to 3,900, which is sharp. Yeah, talk about a bunch of guys who could all just kind of perform in the same tier. Look at those tight ends after the top, couple.
Yeah,
everyone's kind of in that same range. So might have to let you pick that. What am I? Wide receiver with 80 Mitchell and Chase already in the lineup. Yeah, I think wide receiver has the most value in that mid range, like in that 5K range, just because you have guys like Watson, Shakir, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, just a bunch of guys that like they're even if they don't all have like the best matchup, their target or their targets should be pretty high. So I think I'm gonna leave. I think I want to go with that range. So let's lock in Jacobs.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna let you choose. I'm gonna let you choose between all these wide receivers and tight ends, but it should be doable even with the with like a Jacobs Judkins backfield. That's only 65.50 per running back. So Jacobs is 68, and then Judkins is 64. So it's $6,600 per backfield if we go with that. So I think we can still kind of fit what we need to with the mid-range guys at the other positions.
Yeah. So looking at wide receiver, like Ibuka is sticking out 6,300, probably too pricey for what we're going for. Pittman is sticking out 5,400, but he's been kind of struggling the last few games. Usually good high floor guy, low floor. So this range is kind of tough.
Well, I mean, you could also go to the third running back and in kind of that same range as well. If you feel, really, flex. I think Breece Hall is probably the guy we should be playing almost.
I think he's gonna be my first pick on FanDuel. 80 Mitchell's not in play there. So that's just if you're listening Sunday morning, you'll probably have way more info than we do. It's going to be easier to tell. But Breece Hall is obviously a great play for DraftKings. I'm going to, looking at tight end, thoughts on Tyler Warren at 5K, because he's kind of that sweet spot. They price up everybody where all these like 4K to mid-range 3.5K guys. I like them all. So what? You're supposed to pick one? Whereas like Warren's like cheap enough where you kind of know you're getting a high floor with him. And last week he did score, but he had kind of a weaker output, but he was dealing with a really bad stomach issue. So I like Warren here at 5K. So we have 5,200 to spend for the last wide receiver slot in flex. I think that's doable, right?
Yeah, it's doable because we could probably go like low at wide receiver a second time. Let's see. So I'm plugging in Warren. So Warren at 5K gives us. We got Mitchell and Warren. Those former teammates for a couple 2 games. All right, we still need wide receiver flex, right? Okay, I'm trying to find the cheapest guy that we could use at receiver. Maybe we did have to pay down at tight end. So looking in the flex, that gives us more options to kind of figure out exactly how much we would have left at receiver. Thoughts on, because they are favorites, thoughts on Chris Rodriguez. That's usually your guy. Is the lead back, but it's not his kind of site, so could get 0 receiving points. That kind of throws a wrench into his overall value, or do you still think the touchdown probability is enough?
Yeah, they priced him down enough to where I think it makes sense. And he's, he has a higher floor than people realize because he gets the first 2 series. Yeah. Every time they give him the first 2 series, and then they get Bill the 3rd series, and then they kind of got the hot hand. But they've been really leaning on C-Rod. So, I don't mind him at 4,700. That's kind of...
We have to change the defense, though, then, right? We have the defense. You don't want to go with C-Rod and the Commanders.
Well, I mean, they're correlated, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
I mean, they could get blown out. Technically, I think it is kind of.
No, we're not cashing either way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could get. They're probably not going to get blown out by Minnesota, but
you got to minimize the risk, though.
Right.
I'm down. I'm down with C-Rod as long as if we move off the D, I'm fine with Rodriguez. If
okay. Yeah.
Because we don't know as we record this if Koerner will be back. Definitely, right?
Yeah. No, I have no clue. I don't have him projected.
Yeah, I think we go with. Actually, nah, but I'm not gonna force Rodriguez on DraftKings though. It doesn't make any sense either. I think I'm gonna leave you with the flex. Let me just.
Are you thinking Devin Neal? We could.
Yeah, I was thinking
him.
of if he's.
Yeah, and then if we can't limit ourselves just to the player pool, like the situations where there's no injury uncertainty. I was thinking the same thing. I brought him up earlier. I'd say he's 5,100, right? And how many catches did he get last week? I think he's like an ideal DK play even. Let me see.
Yeah, because I mean, I know he got like Taysom Hill didn't get
3 catches for 22 yards. That's kind of what I expect him to get, 3 to 4 catches. So yeah, like we're gonna put him in there, and then obviously if Kamara's back, we would replace him. I think if you're listening, you know that. So because that's like the ideal price range for us, right? So that's 5,400 for wide receiver, which is a handful of guys, right? We have
Michael Wilson at 56.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Wilson. Yeah, Pittman. Alec Pierce probably has a higher floor than Pittman at this point. Christian Watson.
Yeah, I'd probably go none of them just because we have Warren number one. That defense is. I think the tight end types against that defense are zone heavy. I would stick with that. What about thoughts on? Here's an interesting name I'm going to throw out at wide receiver. Devon Vele at 3,700.
At 3,700.
Yeah, he's not mid price, but he's 3,700.
Well, yeah, Luther Burden, that range makes sense, but Burden probably I think he has a high floor, but there's so many mouths to feed, whereas Vele, he's like top 2 option, maybe.
Yeah, but no, he's third. I would say because
we have
Juwan
Neal.
Johnson and Neal. Oh, we do? I didn't even realize we like.
Yeah, we locked him in flex to even get to this predicament. So that's the. But yeah, in a vacuum, I do think he's fine in that price range. I think he has a high floor right now. DK Metcalf.
You think Metcalf over Terry McLaurin and Khalil Shakir and Christian Watson?
Oh, Shakir. Yeah, I'd be down for Shakir, but yeah, if Kincaid's active, maybe remove him.
That's the
I think
wrench.
Yeah, because right now I'm projecting Kincaid in, and I'm still showing some slight value on Shakir. Good matchup. So yeah, let's do it. Again, this is a mess. There's so many different things could happen.
Maybe we probably should have just paid down at least maybe at what would be the easiest probably tight end. Either we should have paid down or the second.
I think
we probably would want Wilson if we were going that cheap at receiver or that range, right? Like we probably just want to spend up to get Wilson at 5,600 and save the money elsewhere. I guess also go down from Jamar Chase up top, but that just goes to is 500 enough for Devontae, who's going to be so touchdown dependent, or
no?
You think no, right?
No,
yeah,
no. I think Chase is really a really good play at 8,200. Yeah, I just say we're about a C+ in terms of confidence in this lineup, but there's a lot of different wrinkles where, I think you're right. Spending down at tight end makes sense, but again, which tight end? A lot of different issues with each one because we already have Judkins, so Fannin would be tough.
Range, maybe. I mean, still.
He's priced up, but
I mean, your boy Ertz is 4,500, and
he's.
Andrews, you have the top 5. He's 4,100, and then I have Strange tight end 6. He's 3,900, and then
there's
there's
a ton of. I think that's the problem is there's too many options at tight end. So I think spending in that range, that 4K range makes sense. You could upgrade a few of these guys, but it's close. I'd say pricing is pretty good this early in the week, but hopefully just getting clarity on some of these situations just help. Feel confident in this.
Yeah, I mean Devin Neal would be in a good spot, but we'll still go with Neal, and then You could also, I mean, Jacobs is another one we could pay down at, I would say. So yeah. So we got trying to take Wilson out, who I was messing around with, just making sure the salaries add up. Now with
should have 100 remaining.
Wait, so then do we want to upgrade the Commanders?
Oh no? Yeah.
No, right? Because the Titans, we don't. Right.
Yeah, because we have Judkins, so we're just stuck right there. We have 4 or 5 more days to think about this. So I think, there's definitely some pivots in there somewhere. But yeah, we have Judkins, so don't want to use the Titans.
So Shakir is the official.
Yeah. So Mitchell, Chase, Shakir at wide receiver.
So then we have Brissett at quarterback at 5,700, Josh Jacobs and Judkins, the running backs at 6,800 and 6,400 respectively. Chase 8,200, Shakir 5,300, 80 Mitchell 4,600, and then Tyler Warren is 5K at tight end. Neo is 5,100 in the flex. Those two guys especially can be kind of pivoted to other options if you need to. And then we have the Commanders D, which certainly can be pivoted to. And the guy, the guy would definitely the first priority would probably be trying to find a way to get Wilson in if Harrison's out, and then going from even with Brissett, because you could also, there's also you could try to go with a bunch of the lower, maybe a punt with a Vele, or go low at tight end and try to get Allen in there for Brissett if you don't want Brissett. Wilson too. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Yep. Jacobs is a guy you could pivot out of. All right. That's DraftKings. Let's jump over to FanDuel now. Of course, FanDuel, a little bit different of the scoring system with the half PPR versus the full on DraftKings and the yardage bonuses. All right, I'll start us off on FanDuel, and I have to go with wait, you said you're going to go with Michael Wilson, right? Oh, no, that was Breece Hall.
No,
right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Wilson at 5,700.
Oh, yeah, love it. Holy smokes. He's
I'm fine with Brissett there, too.
I have Marvin Harrison projected playing, and Wilson's popping. So this is crazy. All right, yeah. So 80 Mitchell was DraftKings for me. Skipping him here. So going with Breece Hall at 7,500 on FanDuel. I think he's a much better play for FanDuel anyway. So definitely locking in this lineup.
I mean, I guess as of late, because they just haven't been not as much passing to go around. But he's been trending up, and he is more expensive, but he's still a value. Because Judkins is 7,900 here, whereas Judkins was 100 cheaper than Hall on DraftKings. Yep. Okay, so we got Breece and Wilson. So got to start getting some 1Z positions out of the way. McBride's 8,600 on FanDuel, so still tough to get to him. Either way. A lot of those guys where it's there's one, they can all be in the same range. Ertz is 5,300, Pitts is 5,400. So I'm gonna let you maybe deal with that. Let's jump to defense, and I'm gonna go with how do you feel with Titans at 3,400 makes?
I was gonna right? if you can go with another position. I'll be the one to lock in the Titans. I think they're a no-brainer on FanDuel. Yeah, they're they're all the way down there. They're the 6th cheapest defense.
I mean, yeah.
Which I'm not saying that the Titans are guaranteed to get 10 plus points. I'm just saying defense is already a crapshoot. I like saving money on it when we can. It seems like the past few times, the no-brainer defense was the most expensive, but not enough to knock us off. But I think, Titans stick out. I can't really make a case for anybody else just based on the price difference.
All right. So if you're going to lock that in, then I'll go with, so we'll have some, we're going to have to, who's going to be our anchor here? Let's see. HN's 9,200. Tara's don't want either of those guys quite. I mean, I just don't mind HN there, but let's see who we got at wide receiver. JSN's up to 98. Chase is 91. That's all those are fair. It gets messy. It gets messy at receiver in that mid range, and then 80 Mitchell's 6K. it's kind of almost like a shock to see him right there. But Shakir is 5,900 here, but that it's because he's such a DraftKings. I'm gonna go. I think we gotta go Judkins again at 7,900. I still think. I mean, he is a FanDuel type play. I don't mind having him against the Titans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. They're kind of just get Shador to throw a pick six and Cam Ward to throw a pick six, and we're back to square one where Judkins is still running. So yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, as a home favorite, one of his main guy that could probably cut into his work. Banged up. Yeah, let's go Judkins. So we got Brees, we got Judkins. We got at running back, we got Michael Wilson at receiver. You're locking in the Titans D.
Yep.
So where are you going next?
Well, I just locked them in, so it's your pick.
Again?
So I'm taking the you went with Judkins. I went with the Titans defense. It's now your pick. We don't have a quarterback yet, right? So
nah.
Okay, 7,100 remaining, and we already have defense taken care of.
Yeah, that's so Josh Allen. Is that what you're saying? Like we should just go Josh Allen?
Oh, is that what you want to do? I'm fine.
I mean, because we got Brissett already. Do you want to just stack him?
Just try. You could just try
7,200.
I'm fine.
Now let's go Brissett. Let's go. He's the value.
Okay.
Who do you have? Who do you have as somebody else?
Oh, value? Yeah, like same guys. Jacoby, Jordan Love, Tyrod. That's it, really. Pricing's pretty good on FanDuel. I mean, I think Josh Allen is too pricey, but I could see how you'd pay up for him this week. But yeah, I think Brissett's
floor projection.
I think the best value and
Brissett.
Floor projection's got to be Brissett here.
So let's go Brissett, and then we can always upgrade. We'll see what we can upgrade later, or if we might. I mean, technically, we could also just upgrade from Wilson, but that'll kind of come into focus as we. Yeah,
and I think tight end, it's pretty clear this like 5K range, like 5.3K range is sort of the sweet spot. And I have Mark Andrews as the highest rank, but I don't know if we could trust him. I think Zach Ertz is the way to go here at 5,200. I know I'm a little higher than. I have them about this. I have Ertz. Ertz is $100. Cheaper. Let me see. We have Judkins. Do you mind having two Browns and a game with a 33-point total?
Yes.
Those are the only two players that are going to be getting points, right? So I get behind that. But I have Ertz. Ertz is showing a little more value just because he's $100 cheaper. So it probably won't matter, but let's lock in Ertz. If we have $100 remaining, then we can consider Fannin for sure, but I have it super tight. Like all those guys in that 5K range, I think are sticking out.
I wonder if that it's going to end up looking like we should just go with Bowers then, or even like Bowers, McBride, or Warren here, just because we're kind of getting into that same thing. But yeah, let's go with who do you say, Pitts or Ertz, right? Yeah. Let's go with Ertz for now, and because that evens out our like we can't go with like a third Cardinal anyway, so like McBride would already be out. Wait, yeah. Okay, so we got Ertz, Wilson, Hall, Judkins, Brissett, Titans. Wait, Titans, right? Yeah, Titans.
Yeah.
We only have one receiver. You didn't get a second one?
Only one receiver.
Okay, so that leaves us 7,700 per player, so we do have some cash to spend. If we could take like two pretty good guys and one guy in that mid range.
Yeah, I'm probably eyeing Waddle in that 6,700 range.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because like you have Dave Flowers there as well. Terry,
Flowers.
There's options in that way. Franklin is more of a boom bust, but there's a lot of options. Yeah. So I'll go up at receiver. Let's go with. We just go with Devontae over Puka for 700 cheaper on FanDuel, right?
Yeah,
he's kind of been.
No, I think that makes
also,
sense.
Yeah.
On FanDuel, that makes
because
sense.
I was thinking about like somebody a little further down, like a Buka or even Olave, but just really don't trust them in this divisional type of matchup. So London would be underpriced, but he's coming off, he's kind of coming off, who knows, and then, different quarterback that he's played with most of the year. I know he played with him before, and then also somewhat tough of a matchup. So yeah, let's go with Adam, or do I just go Chase?
I think go with Adams right now because I'm locking in Waddle at 6,700 or Ibuka. I like Ibuka at 7,300. So having that info, you can kind of we would have 7,800 for the flex. If I lock in Waddle right now and we have Adams, we would have 7,800 for the flex. Who would we get with 7,800? Are we in no man's land?
We're in no man's land. Yeah, Drake London. So no running back stands out. Brown is 7,300, but as you said, like there is some potential for P Ryan to mix in a little more, or them just run less. I don't know that we need it. I think we might as well just go with either Chase or I could just wait because who was that a flex?
No, that's our last receiver slot. So that's what I'm saying, that you could actually get Chase, and then we have 7,300 remaining, which is like Ibuka or running back's probably not where we're going with the flex, right?
Well, that's what I was saying. I could also go Bijan or Achan over Chase if we feel like running back is more valuable.
Oh, right.
At the high end. And then
I think so. I see what you're saying. There. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, so Bijan or Achan? Achan?
I'll go Achan for now, and then if we need to bump.
Yeah, no, I think that's. Yeah, I think that's going to work out perfectly. Yeah, so that's 7,200 for the last wide receiver slot. 100 away from Ibuka.
Who did you reckon? The other one was Waddle, right?
I could go down like Ertz. There's so much wiggle room.
Wilson.
But Ertz is the cheapest of all of them.
Wait, who's our second wide receiver again?
Waddle.
Okay.
Michael Wilson and Jalen Waddle.
Yep.
And he's kind of in no man's land in pricing, so that's why I like him. Let's see if.
So 7,200 wide receiver. I mean, if Zay Flowers didn't have that game last week, we'd probably be a lot more confident in him. McLaurin still don't fully trust, right?
No way.
Obviously,
no way.
And then we have Ertz. Yeah, right.
Franklin
is more of a this is. But then again, Ibuka could kind of fall into that range too because he's been a little quieter. As guys have gotten healthier too.
Right. I think he's kind of settled into where I expected him to be. So he'll probably bounce back, but not quite the level we saw earlier in the season.
I mean, Shakir is 5,900. If you want, just like you could drop pretty significantly and go up at something else too.
Let's do that.
Option.
Let's see what happens. I think tight end might be where we could spend up 6,500. So that's Tyler Warren there.
Where are you going with Shakir?
Yeah. If you go with Shakir for the third wide receiver slot, that allows us to upgrade to Warren at tight end.
A.D. Mitchell 6K. You just go with him again.
Yeah, you could.
That
don't tempt me with a good time, but I'm fine with just using him on DK. But again, we would have Warren on both teams. I don't love him necessarily on both sides, but he kind of fits that. He bridges the gap between like the elite two. So I'd say that's fair. I mean,
we could just go to Bijan instead of Achan. That was the initial plan, right?
Oh, instead of what?
Achan. So you could also go back to Chase, but I would say you could get Bijan at 9K flat, and then that gives you your remaining salary that you needed for who was it? Ibuka, right?
Ibuka, yeah.
Oh, because we don't want Achan and Waddle either, right? Yeah. So there we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, we should be going with.
There you go. You figured it out. Yep. Still would probably change quite a bit come Sunday, but as of now, I think that fits. We have 100 left over, so that was perfect the way you did that.
Yeah. So we got at quarterback Brissett, I I don't feel. I don't. If Harrison's out, I'm fine with that stack of Brissett and Wilson. Yeah. But that's another potential pivot point too. I think Brissett's a better value than Wilson at this point, just because there's more wide receivers. But that would be my pivot. But yeah. So we got Brissett, and then we got Judkins and Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall at running back, and then we have Wilson with Jalen Waddle and Emeka Buka at receiver. Tight end is still Warren, right? I mean, sorry, Ertz. Yeah. We got Ertz at tight end, and we have the Titans defense. 100 left over, so you could technically get up to like one of those other tight ends as well without even changing anything. But that is going to be our FanDuel lineup. Check our DFS tools and models for the most up-to-date projections as the week progresses. That's going to do it for us on the Week 14 DFS show of the Fantasy Flex. Our player projections episode is out now. Our waiver wire episode is out now, and we'll be over on the Action Network podcast channel doing the touchdown show with Joe Gallant tomorrow. Sean is on X at @_oddsmaker. I'm at Chris Raybon. We're at those same handles on the free award-winning Action Network app. Also, be sure to follow Playbook on X. Until next time, let's get this money.